Hey there, thanks for tuning in to this very beneficial video. In today's session, I'm going to introduce you to a great friend and business partner, Dan Young, who's had great success and has assisted me tremendously in creating systems and processes for doing real estate events all over the country, to be honest with you. We did one in Dan's marketplace in Cincinnati, Ohio recently. It was a great success. So Dan, thanks for joining us on the call today. How are you?
My pleasure, Brian. Doing great, man. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So we'll keep this short and sweet. If you're a business who would benefit and recognizes the benefit of working with and creating relationships with real estate agents, and you recognize the power and the leverage in selling one to many versus one-on-one, you're going to be blown away today. So what type of businesses want to talk to real estate agents? Anybody who they're your clients. So recruiters who are looking to grow their own organization are a candidate for these events. Mortgage originators or mortgage companies who recognize the benefit of getting in front of 100 or 200 real estate agents and getting an immediate surge in mortgage applications as a result of giving back to your community. Title, home inspectors, appraisers, home warranty companies, anybody where real estate agents are your clients, these strategies will really help you increase and boost opportunities, revenues, and profitability. I'm owner and president of Real Estate Training Breakthroughs. I've been in the real estate business for a long time. I've had great success. I've sold over 400 homes a year at the height of my market. And I'll come into your market and teach these real estate agents how to grow their business year over year using great strategies that will generate listings and sales for them right now. It's immediate. I'm a direct response marketing expert, and the agents that attend this event will get massive value. The benefit to you is you're creating great goodwill as part of the affiliation and bringing this event to their marketplace. And the great news is it doesn't have to cost you anything. You know, I used to charge $10,000, $15,000 to do a 4-hour event plus airfare, hotel, and expenses. Well, now we can do it to just cover the cost of expenses. And if you do it right, you can actually be the main sponsor and make money off the other sponsors by selling different levels of sponsorship. And we'll get into that when we go a little bit deeper into this process. As the speaker, I will edify you and the other sponsors at the event and, ask them if they get great value out of our workshop, would they be willing to reciprocate and give business back to the sponsors who brought them in and made this possible? And it's a very, very powerful tool, the law of reciprocity and reciprocation. The events are typically 4 hours. We have an invitation script. We have invitation emails. We have flyer templates. Dan has Eventbrite that he's going to walk you through. So it's a very, very powerful event. And I'm going to share my screen with you. And I'm going to show you a couple of promos of some events that we did recently. And I'll just pop them up on the screen. And we'll share these with you. So this was an event that we did here in New Hampshire a while back. Here's another event, how to attract in listings in a low inventory market. We did this for recruiting a real estate agent who wanted to recruit people to his organization. Here's another example of that event that was done in Melbourne, Florida. So Mitch Ryback was the host. He got all these sponsors: Prestige Title, Greenleaf, Steiner, Inspiring Home Inspections, Staging, Annie Mac, and made thousands of dollars on putting on the event. So he was able to zero cost it. Here's an event that we did in Bedford. So if you're interested in doing it, it's literally plug and play, and we'll show you how to do it. Dan, here's your event that we did in Cincinnati. Dan used a QR code. He got all these sponsors. Dan, maybe you could talk a little bit about the success of the event. So high level, not what you did to make it successful, but what were the results for you?
There were a lot of results. Some were unexpected, actually. An example, you were talking about earlier about edification. And one of the things I was able to do is leverage myself from you to become a local expert. And that's helped me actually carry that on even farther. So I've been able to position myself as that local expert. And as a result, I'm getting a lot more people calling me and a lot more traffic, even beyond this event. So that was certainly one of them. But of course, my goal with this was to bring value to the marketplace. And through bringing value, have agents that might be attracted to my organization. And that was exactly what happened. We wound up recruiting just from the one event, 3 agents so far. And I suspect there'll be another 2 to 5 in the next 30 to 60 days.
And the other sponsors, the co-sponsors, can you talk a little bit about the benefits that they got from the event, from being tied to the
Right.
event?
So, you know, one of the mistakes I often see when people are promoting events is they get sponsors and they're really just interested in getting the money and saying, hey, thanks, we got to throw this event. I really felt this burden of I've got to bring value to these folks because I want a relationship, right? I want these folks to come back to the well over and over and over and want to do more events. So I really felt the pressure. So first of all, I went to sponsors that I knew that had a good product. I didn't want to have someone on, representing us that I didn't believe in. So I went to the folks that I had great relationships with, and a couple of them I actually didn't know, but the agents that I work with had very good relationships with these folks. And so that was very important. And many of them, I'm getting calls, one of them, Homadi, they do photography and drone footage and things like that. I called him the other day and said, hey, how are things going? He said, fantastic. I've just gotten my second deal from that. And so I'm getting more and more calls like that. So there definitely is a value add to them. And that's the get by giving philosophy, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I get thank you emails for putting on the event. People are, their expectations are far exceeded of what they got. Their business is going up. Their relationships with agents are going up. They have permission to reach out to the participants. Everybody gets a list because all of these co-sponsors are non-competing. So in Dan's case, Dan's looking to recruit. In the case of title, they're looking for title. In the case of drone footage and video, they're looking for that. So we're all working together, and the sum of the group actually fills up the event. Dan invited people, but each of the sponsors invited people, and it allows them to add value in their community. And then we didn't even make a big deal out of this because it wasn't the primary focus of your event. But after you paid for my airfare, my hotel, how did the dust settle? How were you able to monetize the event in terms of the immediate revenue?
That wasn't bad. So I made almost $3,000 on my effort here after everything was paid for.
That's great. So if you're interested and you're still watching, we're going to make Dan the co-host here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Dan's going to show you how to put on a successful event. So Dan, go ahead and share your screen, please.
All right. First, Brian, I want to just say that I think you have to frame this right, where you're not necessarily just putting on an event, or you're not just recruiting, or you're just not trying to get business. I put a different hat on and said, okay, what am I really doing? And it really was a promoter. So I decided I now have a promotion company. And a lot of these folks, I didn't want to go to Huntington Bank, for instance, and say, hey, here's the sponsorship. Can you stroke me personally a check for $3,500? So I quickly just said, okay, you know what? I'm going to start a company. It's so easy to do now. And I got an LLC as a promotion company, Exponential Growth Systems. I went to Fiverr, got logos done for $30, and then I opened up an account at a bank, and it was all very easy. And now suddenly you can even see my background. I've got Exponential Growth Systems up on the wall right there. So it's very easy to start this promotion company and go from that angle. That way, it's not about you. It's not about your company or your brokerage or whomever. It's a promotion company bringing the value to the client. Does that make sense, Brian?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So the next part is, okay, great. We've got to find the sponsors, we've got to find the venue and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of people get tripped up because they don't know where to start. And that's why I have the spreadsheet. And I had actually borrowed the spreadsheet from someone and modified it a little bit. But so the first spot, of course, secure the speakers. Easy enough, Brian, since you were gracious enough to offer your services. So that was, and by the way, you notice up here, I put a date up here, January 19th, 2023. I haven't talked to you about that, but I'm hoping I can get you out here again because the sponsors and the agents are asking, when is Brian coming out again? So I need to get that done.
And by the way, for full transparency, I'm a real estate coach. So I have great value. There's great benefit to me to be in front of real estate agents who are interested in coaching. So we add great value. At the end, I monetize the event and cover my expenses. So instead of charging you $10,000, $15,000 as a speaker's fee, I do a great job. I demonstrate value. I show people what's possible in their market. And then we offer our Inner Circle group coaching program. It's not a hard sell. It's very soft. And in the case of Dan's event, you know, a third of the group said, yeah, I'd like to be part of this program. So it makes it beneficial for everybody involved. It's a win-win.
By the way, Brian, I put a little QR code up here. This is my media swipe file.
Mhm.
Anyone watching this, they're welcome to take a picture of that and grab these files, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, and additionally, Dan, you know, we make sure that we don't forget to give your contact info at the end, because there may be people who say, okay, I appreciate you showing me how to do it, but honestly, I'd rather work in collaboration with Dan, and they can reach out to you and you guys can organize whatever's beneficial for each of you to participate if that's something that you want to do.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So one of the things that came to my mind is, what's the timeline? When do I need to find this stuff? When do I need to secure the event or the venue? When do I need to send out the emails, etc. So what I've done with this spreadsheet is I put in a date, and it pretty much populates the rest of the dates as to when you should have these things done. So going back, secure the speakers, then secure the venue and the sponsors. Since sponsorship is so important, when you click on this link, it actually pulls this up. Can you see this okay, Brian?
Yep.
Yep. So this is a sample template of the email that I would send out to one of the sponsors. And it basically says, hey, I got a friend of mine coming in. Here's a promo video, and that's where I attach your promo video, Brian.
Mhm.
Where it's going to be, the time, etc. And then I've got 3 different levels of sponsorship, and it shows what each one gets and the value that they get from each of these. Many of them absolutely love the fact that their name's going to get out in front of all the top agents in the community. So just that alone was worth the price of admission, not to mention having time at the venue, face-to-face, toe-to-toe with these agents. We've set them up out in the hallway with a nice little booth and where they could get great interaction. They also would get the list. So anyone that was participating, they got the list so they could follow up with them afterwards.
Let me just comment on. Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So what I want people to understand is your event, the reason we're doing this call, I've done lots of events. You absolutely crushed it, hit it out of the park. Dan did food and beverage. He did open bar. He secured a venue at a first-class hotel. He covered my travel expenses, and he made $3,000 in doing the event. So it's really, really a great opportunity, not to mention the number one reason we do these events is to increase our business. And out of this one event so far, Dan already has 3 new agents in his organization. So very, very excited. Great job, Dan.
The best part is I didn't just take that $3,000 and just go out and, have a nice vacation. I actually reinvested that into the future promotion of events. So next time, well, wow, we've got a lot more to work with.
Great.
So next, of course, for the speaker to reserve their travel, flight, etc. And then the Eventbrite. So you can go into Canva, or you can go have someone at Fiverr develop In this particular case, I did one in Canva and it looked okay, but I'm not a graphics guy. And Brian, I know you had your folks work it over and it looked fantastic. So I appreciate that. And then I was able to just take that over into Eventbrite and then build out an invitation. So all this copy is available, right? So you can go through and you can change it, test it. And there were a series of emails that went out. So each headline was slightly different for the moment, right? So the where is it? So get the Eventbrite, get it ready, but then the hit list. This is an important part. Like, okay, where do we find the people? I get that question all the time. And in my particular case, I had a couple of different resources that I used. I used something called Seize the Market, where I could go in and pull up production information from the agents. So I could actually be a little judicious about who I invited at first, right? Because in my mind, I want the most productive agents there, and then I'll go down the line from there. Who can benefit the most from this particular topic and training?
That's great.
So I was able to download that, put it right into Eventbrite, and also I made a Facebook target group, so I could do target marketing ads in Facebook with that as well. If you don't have access to Broker Metrics or Seize the Market, it's just as easy to hire a virtual assistant and have them scour through the different websites and your local real estate companies and put a list together. So I want to encourage people not having a list discourage them in any way from doing an event. It's easy to do, and you're welcome to reach out to me and I can walk you through it. Then, of course, the Eventbrite page, put that together. Send deliverables and emails to the partners. So whatever I'm doing, I send to Brian to make sure that we're on the same song sheet. Ran a Facebook ad campaign, which, in the future, I don't even know if I'll do that because the email campaign was such a success, but I'll test it. Like everything, I'll test it.
Great.
I showed you one of the emails. I've also got in here, you click on the link and it shows you some ad copy from the other emails, for the 3 emails, each one building a sense of urgency and good headline. Then an email reminder of the event, a text reminder, print the handouts of the event, make sure that the audio visual. One thing about the venue, I found that there were just such a huge variance in cost out there at the venue. Some of them were just ridiculously expensive. Others were a little less expensive, but didn't fit my criteria. And I'll go over the criteria here in just a minute, what I used to pick a venue. And then let's see here. We had the main presentation, then the event special offer, and that's, Brian, where you offered your coaching, right? And we had 9 signups from this group from that.
Yes. So thanks for reminding me, Dan. So if you go to brianmosesinnercircle.com, you can read all about our group coaching program. We sell it online for $500, but we're giving greater value to our sponsors by saying, hey, they put this event on, they've negotiated a special discount or savings, and we offer that discount or savings on behalf of the sponsors. So they can sign up for $247 a month, save 50%, and it creates even more goodwill and credibility from the sponsors. So yeah, that worked out great.
I think one of the most important parts that's brought a lot of, well, let me back up for a second. The happy hour. So we scheduled this where we had 4:30 to 6:30. Excuse me, 1:30 to 4:30 was the actual event. 4:30 to 6:30 was the happy hour. And there was some just guesswork in that. I wish I could say that I knew exactly what I was doing there, but it turns out the happy hour was where we made the most progress. Brian filled their mind with the information. They're excited, they're pumped up, and then the happy hour really secured the relationship part of that. So I would definitely do a happy hour afterwards again.
Fantastic. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. And then afterwards, the next day, I sent out a survey, and this was very helpful. I think I've got it on here. Yeah, so I sent a survey. How would you rate the event? What company are you with? What best describes your current business? And I can, what's the biggest challenge in your business? How'd you like to learn how to partner for free with Brian and get his coaching for free? Yes, boy, I'd love to do that. They give their information, and then they would schedule a follow-up time with me. And so this is how I've been in touch with a lot of these folks afterwards. It actually had them reach out to me instead of vice versa. So more of the attraction marketing. So the survey was a big helper.
That's awesome.
You want to go over some tips on this?
Yeah, let's do that. Share a few of your best practice and tips.
Okay. So again, don't make this about you, yourself, or your company. Make it about the agent. Make it about the event and what you're bringing, the value you're bringing. Have the mindset of a promoter. Again, the happy hour crushed it. So I would recommend that afternoon part. It also saves. So when you're doing a lunch or you're doing a breakfast or something like that, I think it's kind of distracting to the message. In this particular case, we had refreshments, we had coffee, water, but we didn't have anything to distract them. And then we had some hors d'oeuvres at the happy hour. The venue. I think it's really important for your venue to be easy to get to on the expressways, centrally located, so all the agents have an opportunity to get there. Again, I think it's best if the venue has both catering and a bar available. Some places will do outside, but I think logistically it was just easier having it all in one place. And make sure that the venue has ample room for your vendors, right? Because you want to set up tables and you want to have plenty of room for them to interact. So make sure that's available, because I've seen some venues that don't have that or don't allow it. Thursdays seem to have the largest draw, and I only know that from past experience doing events when I was at another brokerage. I don't know. I honestly can't tell you why. I've done I've done every day of the week, and Thursdays always seem to have the largest draw. Let's see here. At a minimum, have coffee, drink station, etc. Now, here's the important part. I have not been able to violate this rule. I wish someone would. Always plan for 50% of your registrants to attend. It's always been a magic number. You get 100 people signed up, 50 are going to attend.
So if you want 100 people to attend, the goal is 200 registrants.
Exactly. It just, I'm telling you, it falls into that math every single time.
It's less if you don't offer food and hors d'oeuvres. So if you don't offer food and hors d'oeuvres, we find that it's about 30% show up of registrants. So when you bribe them with, great content, a great agenda, and food and hors d'oeuvres, you'll get that boost up to 50%. However, I want to add one thing. The 50% of registrants who didn't show are still opportunities, right?
Yes, absolutely. Whether it be a future event or even do a virtual event, right? A Zoom call with presentation with you, which I'd love to get scheduled. Another note, so there's kind of a hierarchy. Great content brings a certain crowd in, food brings in a crowd, and then CE brings in another crowd if you can attach CE to it. However, this caveat, I found that when you attach CE to it, the quality of the candidate drops. It's like some people are just showing up to get their hours and they're not really interested in the message. So I don't know that I would recommend CE. And then, we pass out the EXP or whatever your company is, pass out information. Remember, we missed out on that because we were just so busy just networking with these agents. We forgot all about during the break. So I would have a third party have something to pass out on behalf of your company.
Yeah, tchotchkes, giveaways, raffles, that's always great. In classroom, Dan, great distinction is better than roundtables.
Yes. So we had the big round table set up and it was nice, but a different environment. So I would get the long rectangular classroom style tables. If it gets really big, you may just have to go to chairs. I mean, that's probably fine too.
That's fantastic. So Dan, I guess you're looking at booking your next event in January. So I got to confirm my date. For those of you watching, if you're excited about this opportunity as another pillar to grow your business and propel it forward, you can reach out to me personally, brian@brianmoses.com. And we'll give you everything you need to do to duplicate and copy this and set up a great event. If you'd like Dan to do it for you, and if that's something that he's open to doing, Dan, how can they get in touch with you and, enlist your services how do they reach you?
My mobile direct line is 513-405-9595 or dan@danyounggroup.com.
Fantastic. And don't hesitate to email us with any questions. And we are doing events. I'm doing one in Louisiana. I'm doing one in Ohio again, in Columbus. I'm doing one in Washington State. So I'm planning on doing more events in the coming weeks and months, and my schedule does fill up fast. I travel quite a bit with my family, and I'm still running a full-time coaching business. So it's first come, first served. So if you're interested in getting on the calendar, there's no cost, there's no out-of-pocket expense. We'll help you get sponsors. All you got to do is cover the costs of the event, and you get all the credit for it. So it's really a great opportunity. Dan, anything you'd like to add?
I really appreciate the fact that you're doing that, because it's like the ultimate form of leverage. And this is just the vehicle to make sure that we have plenty of people in the seats to hear your message. So thank you for doing this. Dan,
you did a great job. A lot of great tips, valuable information. And I'm excited for other people in other markets around the country to get the same benefit that you got in Cincinnati. Next time, bigger venue, more people in the seats. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again. Talk to you soon.